Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another foundation review. I'm really excited because these are some of my favorite videos to film for you guys. And this is basically how my foundation reviews go. I test out the foundation all day long. I bring you guys in really close at different points of the day and you guys get to see how the foundation sits on my dry to normal skin, and we go from there. I test it with sponge, with a brush. I test it under daylight. I test it under the flash. I do every single test possible. I don't even do a swatch comparison compared to some of my other foundations because they do have like an olive undertone. So you can kind of see how the skin shade compares to the other ones. And that's basically how it goes. So they're really good, really informative. I hope you enjoy it. If you're new, hi, welcome. I'm Bondbeautyful. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. And make sure to hit the like if you like foundation reviews. Now, I do listen to you guys. I love reading your comments. So if you have a foundation that you want me to test out, make sure to comment below and tell me what it is. And if you're wondering like around what shade I am, you're trying to compare your skin shade to mine, there is always a list down below in the description box of different foundations that match me. So with that said, let's get started. So this is a foundation that I kind of briefly tested out in a trying new makeup or trying YouTuber's favorite makeup video that I did last. I'll put it up in an iCard. But today I'm actually going to do the full wear test and really like put it under a microscope, and we're gonna see how it looks. So the foundation I'm talking about is the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. This is what it looks like. Love this whole bottle, like the glass, so cute. I absolutely love it. You can find it on Sephora for $29. There's 20 different shades. This is what it says. It's a skin tint that hydrates with light, medium, buildable coverage and a natural radiant finish. It's supposed to be light coverage, have hyaluronic acid, long wearing, natural finish, best for combination skin. Finish is supposed to be radiant. And this is supposed to have a bunch of things that will help soothe and restore your skin. So it's supposed to be good for you as well. It says is a breathable, buildable, even though it says it's light coverage, it's supposed to be buildable. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and put this foundation to the test. So anytime I test out foundations, I do one side with a sponge and one side with a brush. I'm using today my e.l.f. brush, my e.l.f. sponge, and also my It Cosmetics Love is a Foundation brush is my favorite foundation brush. Also, I always test out foundations with the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer by Ciate. I do have dry skin, and this is just a good primer that all over is a good primer to test out foundation. I'm kind of at the very bottom of it. Oh, gotta buy a new one. But it's such a good primer, you guys, if you have dry skin. And it's a great primer for powder foundation too. Just wanted to say that. Okay, so I got the shade here, medium 1. They do have a couple of like warm olive shades, but they're a little bit deeper. Like they don't have an olive shade that's gonna match me because I'm pretty light. So hopefully this one works well. I do have like expression lines up here and just deep set lines and smile lines. We're gonna be testing it out. So if you have any lines or wrinkles, this is a good review to watch for it because I'm gonna test all that out and bring you guys in close to see. I love dropper foundations. There's something about it that I love. This one matches pretty good. Matches pretty good. So this is how it looks on this side. It's definitely like a light coverage foundation, especially with a sponge. If you want a foundation to be a little more coverage, don't use a sponge. It really does blend like so easy. I do gotta say that. It blends like a dream. You get a little bit more coverage, as in you can't see your skin as much on this side, but it still looks super, super skin-like. So I'm really excited because it really does look like my skin, but better. And the brush side definitely helped like my pores too, because I have pores like right here. So it really looks not like it has a flawless finish. Like it doesn't have like a pore filling ingredients or anything, but it does make my pores look nice. I'm going to finish my concealer. I am going to set my foundation, and then I'll put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll come back and I'll show you how the foundation looks after I've done all the rest of the makeup. Okay, here are the foundation swatches. So first, of course, we have the Beauty Bounce foundation. Next, we have the Too Faced Born This Way in Natural Beige. Then we have my favorite olive foundation, the Dior Backstage in 2WO, which is an olive shade. Then we have the Pat McGrath foundation in light medium 14. Then we're going in with Drugstore with the Pretty Fresh ColourPop foundation in 80W. Then last we have the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear foundation in Golden Beige 140. So those are my swatches there. I think it's a pretty good neutral color. It's not super like peachy like the Born This Way, but it's not olive. It's just, it is a pretty good color, I think. Okay, so I just finished the rest of my makeup real quick. I'm gonna spray this side of the face because this is just what I usually do, so. Okay, so I finished the rest of my makeup, and I'll tell you real quick what I put on because I'm not gonna remember. The Rare Beauty concealer. I set my face with the BeautyBakery Flour setting powder, one of my favorites, great for dry skin. I used the I'm Multi-Stick contouring. I, of course, used my Kosas bronzer. For blush, I use the Dominant Cosmetics Cream Blush in Soft Pink, which looks like this. I've been dying to use it. And then on my lips, I used a Rare Beauty lip liner in Kind Words. I love it so much. And then on top of that, I used this. This is the Serum Balm by Balm Serum in Pink Cerise on top of that, which has a little bit of like of a pink tint, but it's like a glossy serum. I just love it. So that's what I did on my face. I did spray this side of my face with the Morphe spray, which I do every day, so I have to test it out using a spray. It just really looks so skin-like, and I haven't had a skin-like foundation that is smoothing, so it helps with pores in a long time. And this one just looks so good. It just sunk into my skin, and it really does match me pretty well. Now, I'm really excited. Both sides look really beautiful. Obviously the brush side is gonna look more like flawless, and the sponge side is gonna look more like everyday, like very light coverage, like fresh, beautiful skin. I don't know how to describe it. It looks just really, really good, and I'm super impressed. And it hasn't sunk in any of my lines yet. It does look a little bit heavy on my lines on my forehead, but I just freshly put it on, fresh powder, like, you know, dry girls. Like when you put your powder on, sometimes it looks a little bit powdery, but hopefully that will fade throughout the day. So I'm really impressed so far. Okay, so let's see how it looks in natural lighting. This is how the foundation looks in natural lighting, guys. What do you think? Wow, you can see my Sephora box right there. Look at this, is what I'm talking about, these lines. We'll see how it looks throughout the day. I'm gonna give it an hour or two to kind of sink in there and like decide if it wants to blur and look nice or if it wants to look crazy. Okay, so I thought I would do my 5-hour check-in in front of a natural lighting, in front of a window, so you can see how the foundation is looking. Don't forget I sprayed this side of the face. It's definitely not looking the best in there. I look like an old lady right there, and that doesn't happen very often. So that's how it's looking. I am hating this situation, but besides that, like on the cheeks, it looks so good. I'm sorry, I've been singing, and so my voice is like parched. But anyways, so that's how it looks so far. I'll check in later on at the end of the night so you guys can see. Okay guys, it's been now like 10.5 hours since I've first put on the foundation, and I'm ready to go to bed. I want to touch my face and get this off. So let's talk about how the foundation looks now. Let's bring you in really close. So it actually doesn't look as bad on my forehead as it did earlier. And honestly, the little bit of dryness that is on my forehead, it could just be that primer, because I was at the bottom of the primer. So maybe it's a little funky. It definitely has come off around my chin because I have been touching my face like crazy, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. On the cheek area, it still looks kind of even and flawless. And I think this is going to be a really bomb, like all year round foundation, but specifically for the summer, spring and summertime. It's just so lightweight, but gives you a little bit of coverage, something that I wouldn't mind wearing in like the beachy time. And I do feel like it looks like skin. This foundation looks like skin so much. The forehead's not my favorite, but again, I didn't spray my forehead with a setting spray. So whenever I spray my face with a setting spray, it might just take away that issue that you guys saw at like the 5-hour mark that looked a little funky on my lines, because everywhere else, like my smile lines and everything, all looks super nice and hydrated and beautiful and gorgeous. I don't know. I think this is, for me, a win. I think this is a beautiful everyday foundation, something that I'm going to continue to wear. It's something that reminds me a lot of the Infallible Fresh Wear foundation, but just a lighter coverage version of it, just a lighter, more skin-like, just softer foundation. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm actually really enjoying it. This color, medium 1, is a perfect match for my winter shade. So I absolutely love it, you guys. I think this is a win. Absolutely. I am obsessed. Even my husband mentioned how like nice my makeup looked today. So, I'm really impressed. I think it looks really great. It passed the flash test. It did kind of, like, I touched my chin a lot today, so it did come off on my chin, but it's not something that I noticed transferring when I gave my husband a hug or anything like that. It's just, if you're touching your face a lot, it's gonna come off. That's just what happens. And I think this foundation with the Wet n Wild primer serum, the refined pore one, this might just be like a magical duo. I'll test it out and tell you guys my thoughts or what I think. And also, if you want a little bit more like of a glow, this with the Pixie primer, the glowy Pixie primer, might be really good. And I'm just like saying stuff. This one with the grippy type of primer, I think will make it just last, like the coverage, because the coverage kind of like lightened a little bit, specifically in like certain areas, but not bad. But if you want it to really like latch on, I think the grip type primers might be good with this foundation. So I'll test it out and I'll let you guys know in a favorites. But I hope you enjoyed my video and I hope you're enjoying my channel. Make sure you let me know down below if there's a foundation you want me to try. What's the new makeup you guys want me to try? Like, I have to go to the drugstore and just like look and see what's new and try things on. Anyways, that's it, you guys. It's late. I'm going to bed. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video.